We are already 30 kilometers into this trip. Oh no, this is why I should have brought the rover. We're doing 10 miles an hour. We just stopped for a coffee. Yeah, let me do that. I don't know if you remember my 3-section cap mount. I decided to brake today. I think this is actually much easier for the car than for my back. That's a very pretty car, not? Right, this is day 2 and it's now almost lunchtime and we're finally going from Burgos to San Sebastián. We left the car here overnight. Let me try and show you. Yeah, here we go. I'm gonna check the coolant level and we've parked near this beauty, the Sangyang Rodeos, I think. And let's see if we still have some coolant in this. Yeah, we lost a little bit, but it's still here. I know we still got oil. I don't even need to check the level because this car doesn't use oil. Yeah, it's usually around max, but I didn't clean it, so we're good. Let's put this back in place. Let's go. I gotta say that people here in Spain are taking this seriously because everyone in the street is using face masks, and rightly so. Let's see how it wakes up. Very well, actually. Ignore the battery light, it's the alternator. You have to give it a couple revs so it starts charging. It has always been like that. Let's see how many miles we cover today. We've already used Alpha tank, but that's to be expected. Let's put the next destination on Google Maps and get out of here. I think you can hear it just started raining. It was getting quite sunny in Burgos, it was quite nice. But we were seeing the dark clouds in front of us. We're not even near San Sebastián yet and it's already raining and I think it's not gonna get better. And these wipers are really... This car was not made for this, but it's actually not that bad. As long as you try to keep it on 110, 120. It's not the most refined, most silent. It's supple, right? But it's perfectly okay. We can still get where we want to get. Yeah, the road is quickly getting soaked. Thankfully, I've chosen this as a lazy day. We're not going to do a lot of miles. In total, it's around 200 kilometers. That's going to be our cruising speed for today. More interesting things. That car seems to have broken down and we have a couple mountains. That's it, really. This one is called Túnel de Barrio and this is basically rock. It's amazing actually. Yeah, shut up. And another one. Look at the ceiling. It's amazing. Actually, this sudden change in scenery is what tells us that we're So, we bought this at Supercore. This is basically bacon and ham, I think, with pepper. I'll give it a solid 3.5 in 5. This was one of the few supermarkets that were open in Vitoria. And it was a bit stressing driving there. You have these multiple lane roads with a lot of lights. And parking wasn't easy to come by. We thought there was a dedicated parking to that supermarket, but no. We were lucky. A guy was driving away and left a vacant spot. This is a service station 5 kilometers out of Vitoria. We're just gonna finish and drive to San Sebastian. It's just 1 more hour. So yeah. It's quite windy and it started raining a little bit too. We're getting near and the motorway is now closer to a B road. It goes fast and there are a couple corners and hills and all that stuff. When you arrive in the Basque Country, you notice that things are a bit more hilly and green. There are a couple lorries coming uphill in the other direction, struggling obviously. And yeah, I barely need to accelerate. The road is not perfectly smooth, it's okay I guess, but this car has a thing for finding holes and problems where they wouldn't exist in another car. Yeah, we're still going downhill. Never mind the dashboard jumping up and down, it's broken in all possible places. That hasn't been an annoyance for most of the trip, because most of the road surface has been okay. Here it's a bit worse. But it won't go on forever. But that's an issue that I should fix when possible, and if I actually can manage the part, because it's not available anymore. As you can see, we went downhill and the temperature started going under 50 degrees because the thermostat is actually open and it's stuck. So most of the trip it has been around 65 degrees, but now it dropped a little bit. And this is not amazing for the engine. It causes more long-term wear. It's more noticeable during winter, obviously, especially if you are using the car for short trips. You should be seeing a rainbow in no time, because it's still raining, but it's kind of sunny here. That's bouncy. A fun fact that no one asked for. San Sebastian is a city with two names, because it's San Sebastian, but it's also Donostia. This is obviously to do with the fact that they have their own language, which I find very difficult to understand. I understand some Spanish, being Portuguese, but I can't understand that. I was looking at the trip and at the fuel gauge, and I believe this is actually more economical than I initially thought, because we have 550 kilometers since we filled the tank, and we have more than a quarter of the tank. So this should go to 700 kilometers without a problem. I'm gonna fill it up again before that in San Sebastian, but that's good to know. Especially because I don't want to fill the tank in France. It's a lot more expensive, around 50 cents, 20 cents more per liter. At the moment, since we are traveling a bit more slowly here, my only annoyance is the exhaust. Since I've changed the catalytic converter, the line has been touching the floor pan somewhere, and it results in a boomy exhaust sometimes in certain circumstances. This is a Sunday, and this might explain why there's not a lot of traffic. Because we're getting near. Racket, we're just doing at our Airbnb, which is 4 kilometers from the center of the city, and we've managed to find a parking spot near Playa Concha. We've been lucky, but I'm not sure about the meaning of the red and blue lines. That must be a nice view over the sea, because we've just parked in another location. That one with the blue and the red lines didn't work, and this is up the hill. It's gonna be hell once we have to go back. Yeah, you can already see it, which means that the car is not that far off. That's very pretty. I think I'm gonna stop here for a second, just to contemplate. And that's a possible selfie under the current circumstances.